I started investing $5 a day into the stock market at the beginning of the year as part of an investment challenge that would illustrate that you did not need a lot of money to get started with investing. Now, over the last 90 days, we've seen some movement to the upside within the stock market, and more recently, we've seen some movement to the downside. So in today's video, I'm going to show how anyone can get started with investing in hundreds of stocks with as little as $5 a day. I'll also show how my portfolio has performed over the last 90 days. And then lastly, I'm going to discuss any insights and lessons learned over the last 90 days. I started investing $5 a day at the beginning of the year to illustrate that you did not need a lot of money to get started with investing in the market. See, many people sit on the sidelines and they hesitate to start investing, which is one of the best ways to build wealth, because they think that they don't have enough money to get started. See, many people grew up in households similar to mine where we were never taught about what to do with our money and how to invest our money. This is one of the main reasons that I wanted to capture how investing small amounts of money over a long period of time can have a huge financial impact to your future. So before we jump in and take a look at how my portfolio has been performing since the beginning of the year, I just wanted to quickly recap and remind everyone that the index fund that I'm investing in is Vanguard's VOO. If you're not familiar with VOO, VOO tracks the S&P 500 index, and that index includes the 500 biggest companies within the US. So when you're investing in an index fund such as Vanguard's VOO, you are investing in 500 of the largest companies within the US within one individual fund, which is my preferred way of investing because it allows you to invest in hundreds of companies without you having to do a ton of individual research on each one of the companies. I mentioned in a previous video that you cannot time pricing within the market. So we are dollar cost averaging across our account for the entirety of this challenge. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at how my portfolio has performed over the last 90 days. All right, so here is the home page of my brokerage account. So just to really quickly recap here, I'm using Webull as part of this investment challenge. I like using them because they allow you to buy fractional shares of ETFs and index funds. I think Robinhood allows you to do something similar, and I'm sure there's a few other brokerages out there that allow you to purchase fractional shares of index funds. I'm not 100% certain which ones those are. I like using Webull, so that's what I'm using for the purposes of this challenge. So at the top of the screen, you'll notice that I have a net account value of $433. I just want to point out that that does include the $45 cash balance that I have in my account that is sitting there, and I use that to do the $5 a day within this challenge. So the true market value of my position is $388. And if you look to the bottom of the screen, you'll note that I have one position, which is VOO, and you will see the market value next to that. And then you also see an orange box that says DRIP. That means that I've signed up for the dividend reinvestment program for VOO. And it's free to sign up for that. And essentially what that is every time that VOO pays out a dividend, and I believe they pay a dividend quarterly, that money is reinvested back into my position. So if you haven't signed up for the drip campaign as part of this challenge, make sure that you do so. So we'll head over to the P&L and we'll take a look at how my portfolio has performed over the last 90 days. And I had previously mentioned that we have seen some movement to the downside over the past week or two within the market. And you can see that here where my P&L, where it was positive last month when I gave an update, it is now in a negative. So since the beginning of the year, my account balance has went down $3.14. And if you look to the bottom of the page, you will notice that my return is negative 3.32%. And my account is also underperforming the S&P 500. Now, if we flip that and we take a look over the past month, you'll see that this is where most of the movement since the beginning of the year has occurred. So over the last 30 days, my P&L is down $16. And if you take a look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that it's tracking with the S&P 500, but I'm down about 4.5% over the last 30 days. So now we've had an opportunity to take a look at how my portfolio has performed over the last 90 days, as well as how it's performed over the last 30 days. I wanted to quickly dive in and discuss a few insights and lessons learned over the past 90 days. The first thing is that the market is unpredictable, and it is absolutely common to see movement either to the upside or to the downside. Secondly, this is the main reason why I prefer investing in ETFs and index funds over individual stocks, because individual positions are much more volatile and the swings can be higher and lower in either direction. Whereas ETFs also have movement to the upside and to the downside, but their swings are usually less volatile than individual stock positions. And number three, I'm viewing this market drawdown as an opportunity to add to my position at a lower cost. See, when I first started investing in the market, I used to hate when I saw that my portfolio either turned red or my position turned red, but now I view that as an opportunity to bring down the overall average cost of my position. Because if you remember, we are dollar cost averaging as part of this challenge, meaning that there will be times when we're purchasing our position at a higher price point, and there will be days that we're purchasing it at a lower price point. So we're just gonna stick to the plan, and we're just gonna continue to invest. So over the last 30 days, we've absolutely have seen some downward movement into the market that has impacted our portfolio. But one thing to remember is that the market will always fluctuate over time. So if you continue to be consistent over a long period of time, I have no doubt that we'll be successful as part of this challenge. If you got some value from this video, consider subscribing, and while you're at it, hit that like button and share this video with anyone that you think would benefit from learning how to invest in the stock market. And if you've been investing with me for the last 30 or 60 days, leave a comment down below and let me know how your portfolio is performing and what index fund you decided to invest in. If you like this type of content and you're interested in jumping into the challenge, make sure you check out the next video.